Management of women with endometriosis. Introduction. Endometriosis is defined as the presence of endometrial-like tissue outside the uterus which induces a chronic inflammatory reaction. While some women with endometriosis can experience painful symptoms and/or infertility, others have no symptoms at all. The exact prevalence of endometriosis is unknown, but estimates range from 2 to 10% of women of reproductive age to 50% of infertile women. Diagnosis. Which symptoms are associated with or predictive of the diagnosis of endometriosis? Based on the included studies and expert opinion, the Guideline Development Group decided on the following good practice points. The Guideline Development Group, or GDG, recommends that clinicians should consider the diagnosis of endometriosis in the presence of gynecological symptoms such as dysmenorrhea, non-cyclical pelvic pain, deep dyspareunia, heavy menstrual bleeding, infertility, fatigue, postcoital bleeding, and/or previous diagnosis of ovarian cyst, irritable bowel syndrome, or pelvic inflammatory disease. In women of reproductive age with non-gynecological cyclical symptoms, dyschezia, dysuria, hematuria and rectal bleeding, and shoulder pain. What findings during clinical examination are predictive for the presence and localization of pelvic endometriosis? The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians should perform clinical examination in all women suspected of endometriosis, although vaginal examination may be inappropriate for adolescents and/or women without previous sexual intercourse. In such cases, rectal examination can be helpful for the diagnosis of endometriosis. Clinicians may consider the diagnosis of deep endometriosis in women with painful induration and/or nodules of the rectovaginal wall found during clinical examination or visible vaginal nodules in the posterior vaginal fornix. Clinicians may consider the diagnosis of ovarian endometrioma in women with adnexal masses detected during clinical examination. Clinicians may consider the diagnosis of endometriosis in women suspected of the disease even if the clinical examination is normal. Can the diagnosis of endometriosis be made by application of specific medical technologies? The diagnosis of endometriosis is suspected based on the history, the symptoms and signs, is corroborated by physical examination and imaging techniques, and is finally proven by histological examination of specimens collected during laparoscopy. The combination of laparoscopy and the histological verification of endometrial glands and/or stroma is considered to be the gold standard for the diagnosis of the disease. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians perform a laparoscopy to diagnose endometriosis, confirm a positive laparoscopy by histology. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians obtain tissue for histology in women undergoing surgery for ovarian endometrioma and/or deep infiltrating disease to exclude rare instances of malignancy. Ultrasound. In women with symptoms and signs of rectal endometriosis, transvaginal sonography, or TVS, is useful for identifying or ruling out rectal endometriosis. Transvaginal sonography for the diagnosis of rectal endometriosis is highly operator dependent and experience is often lacking. Hence, transvaginal sonography is not recommended for diagnosis of rectal endometriosis unless it is performed by clinicians highly experienced in transvaginal sonography, or TVS. Clinicians are recommended to perform TVS to diagnose or to exclude an ovarian endometrioma. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians base the diagnosis of ovarian endometrioma in premenopausal women on the following ultrasound characteristics: ground glass echogenicity and 1 to 4 compartments, and no papillary structures with detectable blood flow. Magnetic resonance imaging. Clinicians should be aware that the usefulness of magnetic resonance imaging or MRI to diagnose peritoneal endometriosis is not well established. Biomarkers. Clinicians are recommended not to use biomarkers in endometrial tissue, menstrual or uterine fluids, and/or immunological biomarkers, including CA125, in plasma, urine, or serum to diagnose endometriosis. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians should assess ureter, bladder, and bowel involvement by additional imaging if there is a suspicion based on history or physical examination of deep endometriosis in preparation for further management. Treatment of endometriosis-associated pain. Empirical treatment of pain. Many women suffering from pelvic pain, while there is a high suspicion of endometriosis, use analgesics and hormonal medication without a prior definitive diagnosis of the disease by laparoscopy. This is partially due to the invasiveness of the laparoscopic procedure. This empirical treatment is especially common in adolescents with pelvic pain and dysmenorrhea. However, before starting empirical treatment, other causes of pelvic pain symptoms should be considered and excluded where possible. The Guideline Development Group recommends clinicians to counsel women with symptoms presumed to be due to endometriosis thoroughly and to empirically treat them with adequate analgesia, combined hormonal contraceptives, or progestogens. Are hormonal therapies effective for painful symptoms associated with endometriosis? Currently, hormonal contraceptives, progestogens, and anti-progestogens, gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonist and antagonist, and aromatase inhibitors are in clinical use. Clinicians are recommended to prescribe hormonal treatment, hormonal contraceptives level B, progestogens level A, anti-progestogens level A, or gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonist level A as it reduces endometriosis-associated pain. Take patient preferences, side effects, efficacy, costs, and availability into consideration when choosing hormonal treatment for endometriosis-associated pain. Hormonal contraceptives. Hormonal contraceptives were shown to be effective in treating pain in women with endometriosis. Clinicians can consider prescribing a combined hormonal contraceptive as it reduces endometriosis-associated dyspareunia, dysmenorrhea, and non-menstrual pain. Clinicians may consider the continuous use of combined oral contraceptive pill in women suffering from endometriosis-associated dysmenorrhea. Clinicians may consider the use of a vaginal contraceptive ring or a transdermal such as estrogen and progestin patch to reduce endometriosis-associated dysmenorrhea, dyspareunia, and chronic pelvic pain. Progestogens and anti-progestogens. Clinicians are recommended to use progestogens, medroxyprogesterone acetate, oral or depot, Dynogest, cyproterone acetate, norethisternone acetate, or danazol, or anti-progestogens, gestrinone, as one of the options to reduce endometriosis-associated pain. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians take the different side effect profiles of progestogens and anti-progestogens into account when describing these drugs, especially irreversible side effects such as thrombosis and androgenic side effects. Clinicians can consider prescribing a levonorgestrel releasing intrauterine system as one of the options to reduce endometriosis-associated pain. Gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonist. Clinicians are recommended to use gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonists such as nafarelin, leuprolide, buserelin, goserelin, or triptorelin as one of the options for reducing endometriosis-associated pain. Clinicians are recommended to prescribe hormonal add-back therapy to coincide with the start of gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonist therapy and to prevent bone loss and hypoestrogenic symptoms during treatment. This is not known to reduce the effect of treatment on pain relief. Give careful consideration to the use of gonadotrophin-releasing hormone agonists in young women and adolescents, since these women may not have reached maximum bone density. Aromatase inhibitors. In women with pain from rectovaginal endometriosis, refractory to other medical or surgical treatment, clinicians can consider prescribing aromatase inhibitors in combination with oral contraceptive pills, progestogens, or gonadotrophin-releasing hormone analogs as they reduce endometriosis-associated pain. Due to the severe side effects, aromatase inhibitors should only be prescribed to women after all other options for medical or surgical treatment are exhausted. Are analgesics effective for symptomatic relief of pain associated with endometriosis? The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians should consider NSAIDs or other analgesics to reduce endometriosis-associated pain. When prescribing NSAIDs, clinicians should discuss the side effects associated with frequent use, including inhibition of ovulation, risk of gastric ulceration, and cardiovascular disease with the patient. Is surgery effective for painful symptoms associated with endometriosis? When endometriosis is identified at laparoscopy, clinicians are recommended to surgically treat endometriosis as this is effective for reducing endometriosis-associated pain, that is, see and treat. Laparoscopic surgery is usually associated with less pain, shorter hospital stay, and quicker recovery, as well as better cosmetic outcome, hence it is usually preferred to open surgery. Clinicians may consider both ablation and excision of peritoneal endometriosis to reduce endometriosis-associated pain. Excision of lesions could be preferential with regard to the possibility of retrieving samples for histology. In women with ovarian endometrioma, clinicians should perform cystectomy instead of drainage and coagulation, as cystectomy reduces endometriosis-associated pain. Consider performing cystectomy rather than carbon dioxide laser vaporization in women with ovarian endometrioma because of a lower recurrence rate of the endometrioma. Clinicians can consider performing surgical removal of deep endometriosis as it reduces endometriosis-associated pain and improves quality of life. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians refer women with suspected or diagnosed deep endometriosis to a center of expertise that offers all available treatments in a multidisciplinary context. Hysterectomy. The Guideline Development Group recommends that clinicians consider hysterectomy with removal of the ovaries and all visible endometriosis lesions in women who have completed their family and failed to respond to more conservative treatments. Women should be informed that hysterectomy will not necessarily cure the symptoms or the disease. Surgical interruption of pelvic nerve pathways. Clinicians should not perform laparoscopic uterosacral nerve ablation, or LUNA, as an additional procedure to conservative surgery to reduce endometriosis-associated pain. Clinicians should be aware that presacral neurectomy, or PSN, is effective as an additional procedure to conservative surgery to reduce endometriosis-associated midline pain, but it requires high degree of skill and is a potentially hazardous procedure.